It's your anxiety therapist. So today we're going to talk about couples. So if you are part of a couple or you ever have been, you probably will have some questions about how to navigate the best way that we can in relationships. So one of the most important things is that we are meant to connect. The way that we come out of the womb is to connect. Our brains, our bodies, our hormones, everything is made to connect. In the survival days, we had to connect to survive. When we were part of a tribe, there was more people for survival. There was more people to help with the hunting and the gathering and the children. So connection is a very important part of our survival from day one. So through our early caretaking experiences and traumas, we learn whether other people are safe or not. The safer we feel at our base, our nervous system base, the more we feel that we can go out into the world and experience it. For example, when we're toddlers and we trip and we fall and we hit our butts on the ground, we come back crying and a little shocked and a little sore, and our mothers will hold us and go, it's okay. Okay, we're okay. And then we can go back out and keep playing. How does it start? So when we are born with our physical features. However, our nervous system is it's like a blank canvas. So as we have needs, we cry because we're hungry and we need to be fed, or we need to be changed, or we want to go to sleep. Our caretakers will come in and take care of us, tell us it's okay, do what needs to be done, and then we can feel okay. And then our nervous system responds to understanding that what we need is normal, attuned to, it's fixed, then we feel fine. When our caretakers show us love and make eye contact, it calms down our nervous systems. It takes nurturing, caretaking, and attunement for our needs that help us feel safe and well cared for. Attunement means not just coming in to take care of, but actually knowing what we need. You can imagine if you're a baby and you're crying and your caretaker doesn't really know why you're crying and is trying a bunch of things, it's going to make you very angry. So these actions from our caretakers builds the connections for our nervous system. We also learn how to get our caretakers' attentions. So for example, if we're smiley and our caretaker likes it and they come take care of us and they're smiley with us, then we know that being smiley gets what we need. If we're quiet and we don't take a lot of attention and our caretaker is happy with that and comes to take care of us, we learn being quiet is the way that gets what we need. If we're gregarious and happy and being strong personality babies and our caretaker likes that, then we learn that that's a way that we get what we need. So there are other things that we learn in what helps our caretaker pay attention to us. In the rest of the world, that gets confirmed. We get positive reinforcement from what we think these things, these characteristics that we grow into have in the effect of the world. If we express our anger and the caretaker doesn't like it and then doesn't take care of us, either yells at us or leaves us, we learn that anger is unsafe. We learn to read our caretakers and be what they need in that moment to get our needs taken care of. Or if we can just be ourselves and we cry when we're upset and we smile and laugh when we're happy, and that gets our attention consistently from our caretakers, we learn that being our natural selves is safe. For the rest of our lives, this belief continues to get confirmed until it becomes who we are without even thinking about it. Attachments. John Bowlby and Virginia Satir both came up with secure and insecure attachment. Secure, if our caretakers are attuned to us and available, our nervous system grows as it's supposed to. We learn we can regulate ourselves when we feel upset and honor our own needs. Insecure attachment is if our caretakers are not emotionally available or inconsistent, our bodies do not grow the connections as needed, therefore causing us to either believe we need others to feel better or other only add to our levels of stress. If we can barely handle our own strong needs and feelings, we will not be able to take on anybody extra's needs. So what does this have to do with our relationships in adulthood? Everything. We continue to do the same thing even as adults in our romantic partnerships. If we can develop normal bonds with others, then we have secure attachment. If we create our identities or needs around another person, it's anxious attachment. And we need others to help regulate us to feel better, that's also anxious attachment. If we cannot become truly vulnerable with others, we have to keep a safe distance from intimacy. It's avoidant attachment. So I will go more into these. What does secure attachment look like? This is the golden rule. This is what we want everybody to have, especially people who are in relationships with. Your caretakers were attuned, nurturing, and fairly consistent in your care. Now, when I say fairly consistent, you don't have to be there every single moment of every single cry or every single feelings that your baby has. But in general, if you're attuned and consistent, they will feel a secure base. As an adult, you know you have secure attachment if being warm and loving comes naturally. You don't get too upset or uptight easily in your relationship. You take things in stride, no big deal, it's fine. You enjoy intimacy, but you're not preoccupied with your partner. You know who you are, you know your likes and your dislikes, and you know how to ask for what you need and respect and honor others people's needs. You know how important boundaries are and what you need to make you happy. You can bond with your partner, but have time apart and enjoy the aspects of your life that do not include your partner all the time. Insecure attachment. So the caretakers of these children are inconsistent. The caretakers are sometimes nurturing and attuned, and other times preoccupied or not able to meet the child's needs. Sometimes this is just because the caretaker was really stressful or having to work a lot of hours and was tired. So it can just mean natural stressors that have happened in your life. The person will make their partner's needs more important than their own. Their needs get shadowed by their fear the person will not be happy and will leave them. They become easily sensitive to the partner's fluctuations and take the other person's behaviors really personally. If they feel the other person is quiet or a little detached, they will want to know exactly what's going on. They will feel a lot of anxiety about that. This person has less sense of themselves. Their value can come from being a spouse or a parent or whatever value their significant other brings for them. The person finds reasons to be upset with their partner for leaving for normal life activities. The fear is that they will enjoy others more and eventually be left. So an example of this is if your partner goes out to spend time with friends, they will find a reason to be upset and not feel great about that person leaving them. It can feel very anxious for them. This person requires a lot of attention and soothing from others, being unable to completely self-soothe themselves. This person will want to be in physical presence of the other person most of the time, or at least in contact. Avoidant attachment. This is when the child learns to take care of their own regulations needs. The caretaker is inconsistent. So they learn how to survive in their nervous system. Somebody else coming in, it's too much. They can't handle it. So as adults, the person will not either, well, it's basically I take care of myself and you take care of yourself. They're not going to want to either express their needs to the other person or take care of somebody else's needs. So the relationships remain fairly superficial with superficial intimacy. They'll talk about pretty superficial things, but if they have a deep feeling, they won't express it. They will hide it. These individuals can have a hard time emphasizing with others. Intimacy to that degree is too uncomfortable for them. They are also always on high alert for their partner's control. Autonomy is the most important factor for these people. Through practice, trust, and help, an avoidant or an anxious attachment can become secure. So average numbers show that about half of the individuals are securely attached. The other half are either anxious and or avoidant. Yeah, some people can be both. Some people can be avoidant or anxious depending on the situation, depending on the triggers, depending on the relationship, depending on the stressors that are in their lives. And even as adults, if we have security in our base, in our attachment, we can go out and flourish and focus on the world. But we have to have that base. If we don't, if we're coming from relationships that are avoidant or they're anxious, then we're very preoccupied with them. They make us feel very unsafe, and then we can't really flourish our best in the rest of the world. But like I said, with the work and practice and trust, everyone can work to become securely attached. These changes can happen at any time. When an interaction happens in a relationship with narratives we have built throughout our lives. So it's another video on this, but when we are children and we get hurt by something, whether it's intentional or whether it's not intentional, we feel hurt, and then our body and our brain remembers this feeling. Some of these things come into our partnerships. If we start to feel the same narrative, if the memory feels the same, if the feeling feels the same, then our body will respond to it from that wound place. So for example, we feel that when we were children, somebody told us how inadequate we are or made us feel that we were inadequate. And then your partner is saying, why don't you ever do the dishes? Why don't you ever do the laundry? It makes you feel inadequate. So that will bring up that wound. The other person is not saying you're inadequate. The other person's saying they would like some help around the house. But our old wounds go back to those things that we felt when we were really young, that felt really awful. So if each partner is doing that, then the other person isn't quite sure what's going on in those moments, because it can seem very illogically reactions. Bids. So John and Julie Gottman coined the phrase bids. In our romantic relationships, we often ask for reassurance, love, and acceptance in the form of bids. Bids are small communications asking for our partner to respond in certain ways. Here's an obvious example. I am so stupid, I forgot to pay the electric bill. That partner obviously wants their partner to give them love and accept them and tell them they're not stupid. But here's a little less obvious one. Oh, I wanted to watch that show. But if the partner keeps going down the list and finds something else to watch, it's going to feel like their partner didn't care that they wanted to watch something. If a partner feels their bids are accepted with love, a majority of the time, they feel their relationship is good, safe, and they feel loved. If the bids are mostly ignored, they feel negative about their relationship and will become irritable or have little patience for their partner. Here's another example. A wife says, I'm working really late today. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. I'm going to be home late. That wife would like the husband or the significant other to have dinner ready, have the dishes done, not have to come home and do a bunch of stuff for the kids or for the rest of the house. And without saying that, if the partner doesn't take care of those needs, knowing that their lover is going to be tired when they come home, then it's a missed bid. So be careful in what the person that you love is saying to you. If you're not actually listening to the message, you may very well easily miss a bid. Most interactions are bids. If you do not respond in the correct way, it'll be noticed. If the wife comes home and the dishes aren't done and dinner isn't cooked, it's going to be noticed. It's likely your partner doesn't even know that they're asking for something, but if they miss it, they'll feel it. At the time, the wife's not saying, I'm going to be tired. It would be great if you would cook. They're just thinking, I have a really long day. I'll see you later. But if the dishes are dirty and the dinner isn't cooked, they're going to be upset. Always ask, what is this person actually asking? So, for the best relationships, you have to assess the attachment style. You have to assess what narratives you're bringing in. And we have to accept that our partner is going to give us bids and that they're communicating their needs through the smaller interactions. If you need help in diving into any of these, individual or couples therapy can be very helpful. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.